Greetings, it's a day like any other. You're inside an elevator, and with some excitement, you press the button for the 500th floor, heading straight to the sky. It doesn't seem to amaze you at all. It's a bit high, though. You know that something good awaits you on the top floor. Through one of the windows, you see how you pass through the clouds. You've reached the top floor, a boardroom. They are about to offer you the contract of your life. But suddenly, you realize that you're naked, and no one seems to care. At that moment, you wake up. It was just a dream, an imaginary world you've created in your mind, a situation that at times you've confused with reality. Dreams can be so real, it's like putting on a virtual reality headset in your mind and immersing yourself in the action. The difference is that everything that happens in the dream is accepted by the brain as the true reality. But what are dreams? Sleep takes up a significant part of our day, a biological necessity that allows us to restore essential physical and psychological functions for optimal performance. And if we don't sleep, or our sleep is not restorative, it will be challenging to function properly during the daily activities. We all have dreams, but often we don't remember them. Dreams are a normal part of sleep, and they originate in our brain, the most complex organ in the human body. When we sleep, our brain continues to work, but in a different way. While the logical part rests, the emotional part manifests itself in the form of dreams. Dreams are mental manifestations of images, sounds, thoughts, and sensations in a sleeping individual, usually related to reality. Dreams are part of an involuntary mental process where we reconstruct a world from the information stored in memory, generally related to lived experiences, recent memories, or experiences from years past. Dreaming plunges us into a virtual reality formed by images, sounds, thoughts, and sensations. Memories are retained upon waking and can be simple, like memories of images, colors, or ideas. More elaborate dreams contain scenes, characters, scenarios, and objects, as if you had visited another place. It is known that each individual has a unique and unrepeatable way of dreaming. Thanks to technological advances, brain activity is represented by electromagnetic waves on screens. These scanners present very similar graphs in each person and different from one another. Dreams occur during the REM rapid eye movement stage, the lightest stage, in which, even though we might not realize it, we rapidly shift between sleep and being conscious. During the REM stage, the regulation between sleeping and waking is carried out by the reticular activation system, a circuit that goes from the brainstem through the hypothalamus to reach the cerebral cortex. The cerebral cortex is responsible for generating dreams and is highly active while we are in the REM stage. That's also where the content of our dreams comes from, which, even if they are fantastical, stem from our own experiences. The fact that we see images while dreaming is tied to the activity of the visual cortex. As you can see, dreams are the product of a joint effort by different brain regions, each contributing to the control of specific functions. We all feel connected to the dream, no matter how unreal it may be, until we wake up. And it's then that we realize that perhaps everything we dreamt didn't make any sense. Curiosities of dreams. In dreams, we cannot perform mathematical operations. Dreams are not usually logical, and there's a reason for that. The less active areas of the brain are the frontal lobes, precisely responsible for reasoning. That's why the illogical might seem normal while sleeping, but strange once we wake up. Thus, it's challenging to perform mathematical operations, read a lengthy text, or engage in activities that require a lot of mental effort in a dream. A world of emotions. Exist in a world of emotions. The limbic system, which regulates emotions, is active while we dream, and the amygdala, a structure responsible for feelings of fear and anxiety, plays its part. As a result, our dreams can be positive, transform into nightmares, or even become erotic. Dream control. Sometimes you can control dreams. The method is called lucid dreaming, where you are aware that you are dreaming. For some reason, on certain occasions, the logical part of the brain activates, allowing you to distinguish reality and be critical of the dream. In this state, you take complete control of the dream, as if you were the creator of a video game. It's a matter of practice to repeatedly remind yourself for several days if you're dreaming, so that when you dream, that same question comes to you, and then you realize that you are within a dream. Blind people can also dream. All humans dream, except in cases of extreme psychological disorder. If you think you don't dream, it's more likely that you simply forget them. Even blind people can dream. Those who became blind at some point in their lives can reproduce images in their dreams, but those born blind have somewhat different dreams, represented by other senses like sound and smell. Sleep paralysis. Those who have experienced sleep paralysis can describe it as a true nightmare. It's characterized by extreme body paralysis and a malevolent or demonic presence in the room where you're sleeping. The cause of this is constant activity in the cerebral amygdala, which is responsible for fight or flight emotions, fear, terror, and anxiety. It's also due to a dysfunction between your body and your mind. Normally, the body and mind fall asleep at the same time, but sometimes the body falls asleep first, and your mind remains active. Thus, you begin to experience a series of unusual physical sensations, strange sounds, and your body feels as rigid as a rock, unable to move. Dreaming in black and white sometimes happens. Not everyone dreams in color. About 12% of people dream in black and white. This has changed over time, as studies have been conducted on this since 1915, and some suggest that the shift from black and white to color television was an influential factor in the way people dream. Sleepwalking is a sleep disorder. It's characterized by individuals walking or engaging in other activities while still asleep. People who frequently experience this can have real-world adventures without even realizing it. There are extreme and rare cases of people who, while dreaming, have painted artworks without remembering it upon waking up. Episodes can be very brief, lasting a few seconds or minutes, or they can go on for 30 minutes or more. Most often, people remain asleep for less than 10 minutes during an episode. Those who sleepwalk can walk, perform activities like moving furniture, go to the bathroom, get dressed, and even go outside. If the sleepwalker isn't disturbed, they usually return to sleep. Sometimes, they might fall asleep in a different or even unusual place. Meaning of dreams. In many cultures, a prophetic value is attributed to dreams, seen as encrypted messages of divine origin that need to be deciphered. In dreams, the mind operates with emotions, so it's essential to seek a symbolic meaning rather than a literal one. The meanings of dreams are numerous, and each person can give them a very different interpretation. They might mirror our worries, desires, fears, or even premonitions. Let's explore some common dreams. For instance, dreaming of shoes signifies a person's attitude toward life, how they behave, and what they think of it. It offers a clear view of the decisions made at a particular moment and how these decisions affect us. When it comes to dreaming about teeth falling out, there are different types of interpretations. For example, it could indicate anxiety about how others perceive you or, in the case of women, a feeling of losing power. Dreaming of being chased could relate to a conscious life issue that the dreamer is avoiding confronting, perhaps because they feel unsure of how to do it. In a positive light, this type of dream might represent a great opportunity for the individual to pursue a personal aspiration. Dreaming of being naked in the street or a public place indicates feeling exposed in some aspect of daily life. There's a fear of being too open with someone or that something private might be revealed. If you dream that your fingernails are breaking, that you're biting them, or that they're growing uncontrollably, you might be avoiding a situation or responsibility. Dreaming of flying signifies experiencing moments of happiness or the desire to attain it. Regardless, sooner or later, you'll have to return to reality. However, something interesting that analysts demonstrate is that beyond the fact that these dreams themselves might initially seem unpleasant or fear-inducing, if the person manages to decipher the meaning behind them, it might be the beginning of resolving a long-standing everyday problem. In other words, these dreams might present an opportunity for personal growth. There's no doubt that dreams are important for our health, and some attribute them to premonitions or a sixth sense. Random dreams might not hold much significance, but it might be worth paying attention to repetitive dreams. Your subconscious mind might be trying to warn you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe, share it on social media, and leave your comment.